Hi everyone, I'm Reverend Garrett Foster, and I'm so happy and honored today to be able to introduce you to my good friend and neighbor Patti, who is our living spirit of the month. And when I came up with this idea to introduce somebody every month, I really think of the living spirit as somebody who embodies love in all that they do, and that is certainly Patti. So she's very humble, so I won't give her too many accolades right now, but I would like to introduce you to Patti.
Hi everyone. I'm very happy and humbled to be here, that you'd think of me for your guest this month.
Yeah,
Thank
of course. And you know, Patti, you were one of the first people that I told about my cancer diagnosis a few years ago, and I remember the night I came over and talked to you. And one of the reasons I did that was you yourself are a stage 2 cancer survivor,
Yes.
and you approached your cancer with such grace and dignity and strength and courage. I always remember you saying you were never even afraid, and I wonder if you could talk to me about that.
Sure. My whole experience with the cancer diagnosis was really a blessing. And I didn't realize all the blessings that came out of it. In fact, they still come upon, because whenever I can share my experience with others, and hopefully, you know, that'll be of some, well, it's different things to consider for them, that I saw it as a real blessing. The reasons why was, number one, I didn't have to watch my mother try to battle it, as she was in her late 70s and 80s. And I felt strong enough that that I could, out of anything and anyone that I knew, that I felt I could go through it. And if it wasn't my time to make it out of this new experience, then I was definitely ready.
Wow.
I was ready for the tunnel. Yep.
You know, one of the other things that's always impressed me about you is your connection to nature, and with animals, with plants, with flowers. And a couple of things come to mind so much when I came home one day and saw you nursing a wounded bird back to health in your house, and another time seeing you repairing a shell of a turtle in your driveway, which is so amazing. And you do it with such love, and the way you rescued your cat Strider, the feral cat. And could you explain to me that oneness that you have with all living things?
I think the connection would best be explained by my knowing, having 5 senses, and of course the 6th one here, but it's very unused, consciously anyway. And that is that we are, everything that we see is somewhere on the table of vibration. And things are vibrating at a particular speed, and we're all at a different octave. I see animals when I always hear all the birds before I see things.
Wow.
And I'm very aware of just being not caught up in my own psyche, and just being at one with nature. When I'm out in nature, when I'm walking, I'm really kind of in a slower mode dealing with humans. And especially now, since I've had 6 months of chemotherapy, it does make changes on your memory. It does. I've regained a lot of things back, but I know there are some things that left me different from my treatments.
Sure.
But all that is very good. And as far as the animals go, I try to, if I'm healing something like the turtle that had been struck by a vehicle and his shell was all broken, and his shoulder, everything was exposed from the top. I thought that, you know, even as that his situation, it might have been next to grave, but possibly he could make it. And so rinsed it out real well with salt water and super glued the shell back and released him back into the lake where hopefully he'll...
So you loved him back to health.
Yes, well, and I try to think of what the animal's going through.
Sure.
What I do have some feelings for is the animals over getting groomed, and when they pull on the schnauzers, that's gotta hurt. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, you talked a little while ago about vibration and energy, and you are somebody that has such high energy and such beautiful energy, and you know, I know that you are very humble, so I won't talk too much about all the beautiful things you do, but I have seen you in the few years that I've known you do such amazing things in this world, cooking people meals and delivering people meals.
Oh, that's just, it's a part of, it's not a sacrifice.
Okay.
I don't look at it that way. I like to share.
You like to share, and,
Yes,
and you've opened
it's-
your home to kids who need a home, to animals who need a home. You know, you will anonymously go visit people in the VA hospital or rehab center. And can you tell me, because that's a gift to me, that kind of ministry, that selfless sort of ministry, and I know that might embarrass you, but it's who you are, and if you can explain to me what that is about.
I think it's part of the environment growing up. We were blessed with very wonderful parents. I have two brothers who, there's 3 years between us, and I'm the youngest. We didn't ever see things on the same level in our childhood, but we certainly have in our later years. And as far as the ministry of others, it's to give of yourself. That's what I like to do. And I'm blessed with a very understanding husband, and he too is very compassionate and very kind person, and thinking of the good of all.
How do you define love?
Love is love is God. God is everywhere. God is in what it's not only, we recognize it as in the spirit, but God is everywhere, as in nowhere. And the nowhere is because we don't see it, because we're limited with our rods and cones that we can only see. Birds and animals see much more in color than we do.
Wow.
Their color palette recognition is so much more involved. A dog that sees things from, very close to the floor. Imagine seeing everything from a dog's perspective.
Right. Or a tree's perspective.
The tree,
Right.
The trees are very, they're probably extremely highly evolved.
Yeah.
And they take the energy from the sun. They're much higher above us. And to think of when a forest gets denuded, just gets chopped down, or worse yet, what bothers me are Christmas trees. I understand some sort of tradition, but
you feel for
to
those
chop
trees.
it down, that something that took 30 years to grow.
Yeah.
And I don't mean the big ones. I mean, we're talking, and it's and you're killing it.
Yeah. No, that's something about you. You spread so much love and compassion in this world, and have such deep feelings for people, for animal, for nature, for things. And I'm wondering if you can tell me who inspires you? Like, because you're a very unique person, and I wonder who has been your role model in life?
When I was in high school, my friends and I, a group of us, guys and gals, had a interest in studying philosophy and theology. And so upon graduation, we moved down to Detroit and spent some time at the Alhambra Institute in Dearborn. A couple of my friends joined Scientology. and later got out of Scientology.
Hmm.
One went back home, one went to New York, and a friend of mine and I stayed in Detroit, and we always have read and got into metaphysics and Aleister Crowley, Edgar Casey,
Mhm.
Jerdith, Alan Watts,
So these are all people
Baba
that influenced
Ramdas
you in helping.
in Buddhism.
Yeah.
Yes. So we, from the 70s, I've always had an interest, and therefore it's always been, I view life with a grain of salt from everything.
From everything.
From
How do you think you make the biggest difference in this world?
By being kind and being understanding and being there for others. The more I can give, the less I need.
Wow. The more you can give,
The less I
you need.
need. In clothing, cast off.
Yeah.
Money is, it's nice, but it's not important to me. It doesn't give happiness. It affords you to do things, to do things
Sure.
without money, but it's only a material thing, as in clothing or shoes or anything like that. It's the more you open yourself up, and that is to nature, and to be comfortable with yourself, of just to be here now and not have the lower forms of magic interrupting your consciousness
Sure.
or burdening it.
Yeah. So again, we get back to consciousness and energy.
Yeah.
So I just want to thank you again for all that you do in the world, for being a true living spirit. And I think what I want people to know most about you is that we are actually on very different sides of the political fence. This is a tough time for people who are on opposite sides, and you are somebody that has taught me it doesn't matter whether you're red or blue, we have more in common than not.
And you've taught me a lot as well,
Yeah.
having known you. We all learn from each other.
Yeah.
And the people that are in our universe, in our direct universe, our friends, our family, acquaintances, people that you pass by in the street, it's all there for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's there for us to grow. Whether it's, some choose to grow in hate, and those are the more lowly people that are, it's because they don't have an understanding of themselves first. You have to understand yourself first before you can even love or understand anyone else completely and more holistically.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I love you, my friend.
Oh,
and
thank
I thank you
you
for everything you do in this world.
No, thank you. I really enjoyed coming on and talking about these things. I hope you'll have me again.
Thank you.
Thank you.